Alright, so, hey everybody, it's the Insane Aerospace Engineer here, and I'm playing my PlayStation on the Crew. The Crew 2 was just announced, so I kind of wanted to make a video, just kind of detailing what I expect from the second game, because I'm really excited, because the Crew is one of my favorite racing games ever, of all time, just because, well, I'll talk about that in a sec, but just know that it's one of my favorite racing games ever, and I'm extremely hyped for the second game because this one is just it's so much fun. It has its flaws, which I'm going to also talk about in a second, but let's talk about the not so flaws first. For one, I really love the fact that this game has like a mix between MMO aspects and MMORPG aspects and racing is something I've always kind of wanted to see in a racing game before, but because I'm not really into the like full-on like racing simulator style games. I kind of like a little bit of unrealistic driving mechanics in my games. Call me a noob for that or whatever you want to, but that's how it is. Another thing I really like is how you can pretty much, like the map is so huge and you can pretty much go anywhere that you want to, like there's no restrictions. If you want to go off-road, all you have to do is switch to like a dirt type car or a raid type car, you know. If you want to drive on the road really fast, you got your perf spec. You're driving around in the city, you got your street spec. You're driving around in, you know, on the circuit or whatever, which there's a lot of those in the game, you know. There's lots of racetracks you can actually go to in free roam, which is another really nice thing. I'm glad they took the time to add like airports and racetracks and little Easter eggs like the Space Center and, you know, all that good stuff. Just all really nice. It's just really a lot of variety to the gameplay. Customization's really, it's not the best, but it's nice. You know, there's a lot of customization options here. You know, if you wanna. You know, it's all about like the different types of specs, right? Which kind of draws into that the MMO aspects of this game, rather than being, you know, full on like car tuning. You know, you got your leveled specs. You actually have to kind of work for your car levels by driving around the map, doing skills, doing races, you know, whatever. Or you could spend money on it, but. Which again is for those people who just like to do that, just like to spend money on a car to tune it or whatever. So you get the best of both worlds. I prefer to drive around and just level my cars by doing the skills and shit, honestly, because I like the MMO aspects of this game. Another good thing about it is I would definitely say, as I mentioned earlier, the driving mechanics. They're not the most realistic in the world, but like you can kind of turn off all the assists, and you got your manual transmission, and if you got a racing wheel you have the clutch, and you know, all the standard stuff you'd see in, say, like Forza or something. But the driving mechanics, yes, admittedly aren't as realistic, but it's still fun to just kind of drive around in this game, and it's nice that all the cars are they're nice and balanced. You know, if you're in PvP, nothing's too particularly overpowered. And maybe say the LaFerrari is a little teensy bit overpowered, but honestly, I don't really have too much trouble with it, personally. I prefer to drive around in a perf spec Skyline in those types of races rather than some fancy-ass exotic car. I like that they, like how many cars they managed to get into the game, for one, you know, because again, it adds a lot of variety to how you choose to play. You know, you got your trucks, and you got your muscle cars, your JDM tuners, your exotic supercars, you know, and there's even a fucking buggy and some hot rods. You know, which is hilariously cool. It sort of reminds me of them old the old MX vs ATV games. I don't know if anybody remembers them. I think they were made by THQ. You know, like MX vs ATV Unleashed for the PC and the Xbox. I actually still have that game on my PC, but I just love it's like that, but with this huge ass open world sandbox to explore on top of that, you know. So that's all the amazing stuff about this game, you know, and why I like it so much. It could be a little better with some of the tuning, I guess, but we'll get on to that. Cons, big one. The game wasn't really ready at release. It was kind of crappy looking, and there wasn't much in the game at the time. You know, there was a lot of cars and stuff, but there wasn't enough of a selection. I don't think, especially the JDM tuners, which were my favorite. I'm pretty sure the only two back then were like, or the only three back then were like the Nissan Fairlady Z, the Nissan Skyline GTR R34, and the Nissan 370Z, and you could get the Nissan Skyline and I think you could get the Nissan Skyline and the Nissan 370Z in all specs, which is good, I guess, but there still wasn't enough cars. Then they fixed it by adding like the RX-7 and the MX-5 and the what was the other one? The Subaru BRZ, I think, and then the Nissan GTR R35. You know, that was one of the coolest things ever. When I saw that they added the GTR R35, I was like squealing in my seat. You know, so the game, again, it wasn't ready at release. You know, they kind of had to release a few DLC to perfect it. You know, when the Wild Run came out, they had a graphical improvement, which it shouldn't have taken a DLC for them to do that. They should have just like done it, you know, right away, instead of making us pay for a DLC. We didn't have to pay for the graphical update, but it's the fact that it released with the DLC. They waited till they released the DLC. They waited till there was extra stuff for us to buy before they decided to update the graphics to make them look better and to make them more in line with modern racing games, you know? The other thing I have complaints about is the lack of visual customization options. It seems like with each spec, like the way you make your car look is really limited. Like, for example, I'm driving a perf spec Skyline around the map right now while I talk. This wing on the back was the most clean looking wing that I could get on it. The rest are like huge ass GT wings. Like, if you play with the street spec version of this car, you get like this other type of clean looking spoiler that looks really cool that I wish I could put on a perf spec car, because it would look better on a it would fit more with the perf spec car than it would on a street spec car. I'm actually gonna switch to my Skyline and show that, my other street spec Skyline, and show that right now. Where is it? Where you at, Nissan Skyline? Ah, right here, at the top, of course. So as you can see, we got that cool looking spoiler on the back, you know, and say what you will, but I kind of like this one a lot. Like, I wouldn't like it for a street spec car. I only put it on my street spec because that was the only one I could put it on. But I would put this on a perf spec car if I had the option. So more interchangeable parts. Don't like limit certain parts to certain specs. If I want to have a really clean looking perf spec car, let me have a really clean looking perf spec car. If I want to have a really nasty looking street spec car, then let me do that too, you know. No part limitations based on what spec you're using, you know. Everything should, except unless you're talking about dirt cars and raid cars or whatever, don't limit what kinds of parts. We can use, you know, street spec, circuit spec, and perf spec cars should all have interchangeable parts with each other, and raid spec and dirt spec and that kit should all have interchangeable parts. And drift spec, same thing, you know, no part limitations. All the extreme specs, don't make the parts all like exclusive parts for each different class, because it's just dumb, and it limits what we can do with our vehicles. So more dynamic customization for the next game on vehicles. That leads me nicely into my next point. I think that the extreme specs should be cheaper. Why am I paying $500,000 for my car to be able to drift? That's too much money. And it needs to be easier to earn money on top of that. And the extreme specs shouldn't be extreme specs anymore. They should just be standard specs. Because, I mean, I can kind of understand monster spec and drag spec maybe spending like 500 grand on a car, but drift spec? Nah, man, drift spec. At least make drift spec cost, you know, a reasonable amount of money, and monster spec and drag spec cost a more reasonable amount of money if you can. But I don't mind if they leave the monster and the drag spec the way that it is. But yeah, extreme specs need to cost a little bit less money. Next point, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I'd like more import cars. I'm not a fan, you know, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this in the comment section, but I am not a fan of European supercars and muscle cars. I like JDM imports, and so I want to see more, you know, Nissans in the game, maybe like a Nissan Silvia S13 or something, and you know, some earlier versions of the Mazda RX-7, maybe not the FD3S, maybe like the FC3S or the Savannah or something like that, you know? Like older cars, you know, they weren't afraid to add like the old Fairlady ZS30 into this game, so why are they afraid to add, you know, the older Mazdas or the older Subarus or, you know, whatever, you know? Why did they add the BRZ? Instead of adding, they could have added the Impreza. I think it has something to do with licensing, like what kind of cars they can get the licensing for, but you know, if you wanna make your game better, make it happen. Because as it stands, there's a lot of cars in this game, and I really like the amount of cars that are already here, but please some more JDM imports, especially especially like a Subaru Impreza or something, or an older Mazda RX-7, or at least let us body kit out the V8 Mazda RX-7 FD3S to make it look more like the older Mazda RX-7 FC3S. That's kind of a personal demand, I guess. Not really a game-changing thing at all. Next thing, I think there needs to be some kind of like, I guess, Dirt's rally class, or, well, somewhat anyway. Maybe rally class could be like, you know how you have your street spec, your perf spec, and your circuit spec, but then for like the dirt and all-terrain cars, you have just 2, and you have 3 for like road cars. So maybe the last tier of all-terrain vehicle or whatever can be like a rally spec, and it would just be like an upgraded version of a dirt spec. It's like basically circuit spec, but you know, for the dirt or whatever, and it could be rally spec. That would be cool. So I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe more specs to add to that customization variety. Next thing, I kind of want to see some more types of vehicles. You know, we have monster trucks and stuff now, which again, kind of really awesome, because it kind of lines up with the whole, you know, like it kind of reminds me a lot of this game is kind of an open world version of those old MX vs ATV games that I used to play a lot, and I think a couple of those were published by Ubisoft, but I can't quite remember. But it kind of reminds me a lot of those games, but you know, with actual regular cars and like this huge open world, and you can just kind of change any car to be able to go off-road whenever you want to and stuff like that. But we need more types. Like, we need some quads, you know, we need maybe some, I don't know, like in friggin' MX vs ATV they had golf carts, you know, that'd be frickin' sweet, because that seems to be Ubisoft's specialty, not necessarily making racing games, but just like those kinds of like all-around open world vehicle games. You know, it's not just necessarily about the cars, right? Which I like, cause I'm kind of not really into the whole just like straight up open world racing anymore. The genre is kind of getting a bit generic for me. Even Forza Horizon's starting to wane on me, even with the release of their new Forza Horizon 3, which is a cool game, by the way, but just, I don't know, it's just missing something that this game kind of has for me. You know, like all those different types of vehicles and stuff like that. So yeah, more types of vehicles, you know, quads maybe, get some golf carts in there, some really manly looking golf carts, sand rails, I don't know, hell, even you could even go as far as to add friggin' planes and helicopters, because I remember some of the old MX vs. ATV games. I know I'm coming back to that point a lot, but again, that's what this game kind of reminds me of, is an open world, huge, massive version of that game with MMO mechanics and regular cars. And that's what makes it fun for me, because I can just, you know, switch from driving a regular car to like going off-road on a dirt bike or whatever, and you know, just whatever I want to, pretty much. You get what I'm saying. But yeah, even go as far as adding planes and helicopters. I wouldn't mind that. You know, do whatever. Make it its own thing. Make it its own style of game. You know, it's not just doesn't just have to be like an open world racing RPG. It can be an open world. I don't know. What do you call those types of games? I don't really know. It's just kind of, you know. Well, they called it MX vs. ATV, so I don't know. It could just be The Crew. It could just be an open world, you know. I don't know, open world vehicle racing game. I don't know. It doesn't have to fit exactly into the racing genre, but it could be part of the racing genre. It could just do its own thing. I don't know, you know. I don't know what to call it, honestly, but it would be cool. And that's one of the things that I'm kind of hoping for. Because they already got the airports and everything in the game, so I don't see what the problem will be with it. And games have done it in the past, have been successful at it, so. Next thing, I want custom stickers. In Forza, you can make your own vinyls for your cars, right? In this game, you have to choose between like a set of preset stickers that are all like really expensive, you know. Maybe just let us pay like 50,000 bucks or whatever, and we can just design our own sticker and put it on our car, right? And that would add more customization to the game and make people's cars unique, and it's just a thing that we kind of need for the series to excel and for it to not be as bad as the older games, right? Next thing, they need to have these kind of graphics out of the gate. No, none of that, you know, crappy graphics out of the gate and then update the graphics later when you have DLC. It needs to be like this out of the gate. And there needs to be a ton of cars out of the gates, and none locked behind season passes or exclusive Uplay passes or whatever. You know, there needs to be a ton of cars available for just purchasing the game in the first place. And money needs to be a bit easier to earn. You know, I find no problem personally in this game earning any money, but then again, I rarely buy things, and I kind of just enjoy driving around in my friggin' perf spec cars, or you know, or whatever I won from chases and the summit, and so I don't spend a lot of money in this game, so I don't really see it as a problem, but I can see why people do. So yeah, make it easier to earn bucks, go a little less heavy on the microtransactions. I understand that you might need some to kind of keep the game afloat, but maybe make them cosmetic, and maybe make it no crew credit microtransactions with pay to win stuff, just kind of cosmetic stuff to say, you know, you want you know, special stickers or something like that you can only get for a limited time or whatever, and you have to buy them from the little microtransaction store, right? I'm not against microtransaction completely, which I might also get a lot of hate comments for, like, oh, why are you supporting microtransactions? Well, I'm supporting microtransactions because people need to remember that it costs money to maintain these game servers. You know, I'm not just, you know, like, the server isn't just like a thing that they put up and then they don't have to pay for it or anything. You know, they have to pay maintenance costs, and whenever it goes down, they have to spend more money to put it back up. So they need to, they do need a way, you know, because otherwise they'd be losing money, and the point of a business is to make money. So why would they just sell the game at, you know, the price that it's listed, and then have no way to make money after that? Because that wouldn't make any sense, because then they just spend all the money that they made maintaining the servers for however long people decide they want to keep playing the game. So they need that. They need microtransactions here. They just don't need like so many that it's just clearly a fucking money grab, right? They just need to be light on it, cosmetic stuff. because people would pay for that, and I would totally pay for that. Like, if it was cool enough, I'd totally pay for microtransactions or whatever, you know, help keep the servers up on the game, because quite frankly, I kind of want this game's servers to stay up forever, because it's a fun game. So I'll probably buy the cosmetic stuff. If it's just cosmetic stuff and it's not like crew credits or whatever, I'll totally do it. But if they decide to do crew credits or whatever, or any of that bullshit, then I probably won't. Because I don't like to support that kind of pay-to-win bullshit, you know, like, because that just opens up the possibility for somebody to go just buy a whole bunch of crew credits and then buy a LaFerrari perf spec or whatever. Which again can be seen as unfair. I don't really have any problem with the car itself, but I do see that it is a lot faster than the other ones. When I race with my 1497 Mazda RX-7 or whatever, or my Mazda MX-5, I do notice that it's a little bit faster than the other cars, and that just could be the way they tuned it or whatever. Because again, certain parts give certain bonuses. So, but I don't know, because I can go into a store and install, you know, a speed bonus part or whatever instead of a handling bonus part, and it could be the same level. I don't know, maybe that's a thing, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. Other thing, I think, I think there should be maybe more than just, like, whatever region they choose for the game, because, right, this game's in the United States, but then the next game appears like it's going to be somewhere else. I'm not for certain yet, but it looks like it is going to be somewhere else. So maybe transferring between the United States and wherever they decide to put the next game or whatever. I want one of two locations. I want it to either be Canada or I want it to be Japan. As it looks right now, it might be Europe, because the whatever, this reveal screenshot or whatever kind of has like some dude getting on a boat or whatever. So I have a feeling it might be Europe, because which would also be cool, but I'd prefer Japan or Canada. Really would prefer Canada, because Canada is huge and there's just tons of like open highway and windy mountain roads and all that stuff. I live in Canada. I live in BC, and yeah, I've been through the I think they're called the Fraser Tunnels or whatever, and I've been through there, and that's a scary road. I think that would be fun to drive on if they decided to add Canada to the crew. I'd have a lot of fun drifting there, probably, and causing a ton of accidents, and maybe falling off the edge a few times to my death. That would be fun. Another thing, I think it would be nice to be able to have some limited interaction with the world outside of your car. You know, maybe just get out and get a mission from somebody or whatever. You know, instead of just driving into an icon, you actually kind of, like, maybe after the game's over, you can find random races by getting out of your vehicle and talking to people to find out where they're going, where the races are at. You know, so you're not bored after the end of the game. You know, you can keep finding new stuff, and you know, you could get that chance where you find a race that'll earn you like $100,000 for finishing it, and you know, stuff like that. Just stuff to keep the game interesting. Random events, I guess, and interaction with the world. Another thing, more detailed car leveling system. Would be nice to kind of, you know, say when I level my car up, instead of like it just assigning some kind of random bonus to whatever part I get, you know, I maybe could go into a menu and choose what kind of part I get, you know, depending on how much experience it added. You know, I could say it added like 11 experience or whatever to my car level, or 11 levels to my car or whatever, right? And then I could pop open a menu and just go see what there is, like what kind of perks I could get, maybe, and maybe as you level up, you know, every 10 levels or so, you can choose kind of a special bonus like extra nitrous, or, you know, they have kind of the perk system in this game, like the perk board or whatever, which should also appear in the second game. But on top of that, maybe some individual car bonuses that you can, for each car, you know, each time you level up the car, you know, 100 levels or whatever, you can get like a small 5% bonus to nitrous duration, or maybe get an extra 5%, or or a 0.5 or 5% bonus to handling or something like that. Just something to make car leveling a little bit more interesting. That would be nice. You know, maybe go a little bit heavier on the RPG mechanics there, because I don't know, I'm kind of interested to see if they'll take it really far and integrate like full-on MMORPG mechanics into a racing game. I think that'd be an interesting game. I think it would be fun. This is probably all wishful thinking on my part. You know, they're just starting to experiment with this genre of game, and the crew, I'm not for sure, but I don't think it did really well as the game. I don't see too many people on here these days. You know, there's four or five people in here with me right now, and that's about the max I ever see inside of a server. So I don't know. I don't think it did very well, but it's a cool game. So I don't understand why, because it's fun and it's a good time, and the map is huge, and you can just go on forever and ever and ever just driving around in this game. So we'll see, I guess, but it's probably all wishful thinking since it's not their poster child series, Far Cry or whatever. So it's probably not going to get much attention and love. But I just wanted to say, you know, if anybody from Ubisoft is hearing this, you know, this is, I don't know if they actually published it or if they actually made it. I'm pretty sure a studio called Ivory Tower made it. Yeah, Ivory Tower made it. So if anybody from Ivory Tower is watching this video, man, you guys did a good job on this game. All the stuff that I'm saying is just like me wanting to see these types of games progress to a higher level than they are now. You know, this is just a start, and it was a pretty amazing start in my opinion for this type of game. But keep it going, and keep adding stuff to it and making it better and better. You know, so, and keep adding variety to it, because these types of you know, open world sandbox racing games or MMORPG racing games are fun and probably my favorite type of racing game. So yeah, just keep it up, and that's pretty much all I have to say. You know, love you, Ivory Tower. The game's amazing. This is Insane Aerospace Engineer, and I guess I'll see you guys Starside, or no, actually, wait, you know what? I will play some more. I guess I'll go do some stuff other than drive around. Let's see here. My God, I'm really bad at this. I'm still driving the street spec, you know. Okay, I'll switch cars now, cause I'm focused now. I kind of wasn't really focused. I was kind of lost in talking about the game and its future, cause it's important to me. Cause it's again, probably my favorite racing game, even if it's kind of crappy. Even if people think it's kind of crappy compared to Forza Horizon 3. Forza Horizon 3 is a kind of more on the simulation side, and you know, for car people, I guess, you know. So whereas I just kind of like the open world, you know, racing games, and where there's just lots to do. Like, you know, switch between a car and a motorbike and drive down the street on a motorbike instead of a car, or switch over to, let's see here, some big ass fucking nasty looking raid Porsche, crush somebody's car, and then go out into the wilderness and just drive, really see how fast you can drive through the fucking trees and shit, you know. So, because I'm not really smart with cars, so when I play like Forza and stuff, I can't really tune them properly. Whereas on this game, it's just kind of a simple click of a button. You know, if I want my car to go fast and stick to the asphalt, I'll just get the perf spec, or if I wanna race in the city, I'll just get the street spec, and if I want to race off-road, then I can choose either, depending on whether I actually have a dirt road to follow or not. I can pick the dirt spec or the raid spec. I know the dirt spec's actually faster so long as you're actually driving on dirt. So Whereas if you try to drive like all-terrain with the dirt spec, it kind of doesn't work as well. I did some tests earlier. I still really like the raid spec. The raid spec's probably my second favorite type of vehicle in the game, right after perf spec. Just because it adds it adds so much, as I was saying earlier, it adds so much to the variety to the game, because you can just go wherever, whereas if this was, say, Forza or something, you'd kind of constricted to the roads. I know in Forza Horizon 3 you can kind of go off-road, but I'm not sure if there's bikes or not. I'm actually going to look that up before I make myself look like an idiot in front of a bunch of people. I don't know much. I kind of played it a little bit, but that was it. Forza Horizon 3. Let's see here. And 3. Is that motorcycles or whatever? Wouldn't that be interesting if it did? No, it does not. But it looks like they're coming. Oh, neato. Might have to check that game out. I still kind of like this game better, just because that huge map and all the different types of vehicles and stuff, but yeah. Forza Horizon 3 does have a really cool customization system, and it looks like they're adding trucks and motorbikes now, so take my chances on it and have a look. I know a lot of people are going to be hating on me for saying I like this game better than Forza Horizon 3, but that's okay. Because this game's fun, and it's a little bit arcadey, but not too arcadey, and like it's just like the perfect balance of realism and not so realism. There's still a lot of bugs though, I notice, and sometimes the servers will go down for a long time, but that's just bad because I can't play as much anymore, so. Ooh, we're doing swelling still. Here I am driving a raid spec car on the fucking pavement instead of using it for what it's meant for. I don't know, this thing just looks beastly, man. Like, look at this thing. It's a fucking Porsche that's designed to go all terrain. It's fucking ridiculous. And that's why I like this game. Cause I'm sure I don't know if there's something like this in fucking Forza Horizon 3, but I don't think so, cause this is ridiculous, man. Like, you know, it's nice when racing games go a little bit over the top like this, cause it makes it more fun that way. My goodness, I'm gonna get a silver medal on this shit. Yep. Ooh, 1005. My god, it's like, what is the maximum? Yeah, 1497. 497 levels from max. I wonder if I should just go tune it up to 1497 in the shop. I mean, I do have, yeah, I have $1 million, so I could. Is that an aircraft carrier out there? What the hell? I'll go. Oh no, it's just a big ass oil tanker. That's another thing I like about this game, is shit like this. You know, you see. Is that a road? It's a road. Oh no, it's not. Oh, you know what I should go look for? I wonder if the what is it called? The lake. I think it's called the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway or whatever. I'm gonna find out if that's in this game, and I'm gonna go there because I've always wanted to drive across that, like kind of in real life, but doing it in hero work for now, I guess. Okay, Crew Lake Pontchartrain Causeway. Let's see if it's in there. Holy shit, it actually is in here. That's fucking sweet, man. Holy shit, I'm going over there right now. I'm gonna drive over there though, I'm not gonna let's see. Where is it on the map? It's in old Chicago or whatever. Wow, I can't believe it's in here. Fuck, that's cool. Again, another reason I like this game a lot better than Forza Horizon 3. There's actually some stuff pretty neat in here. Where's that Lake Pontchartrain Causeway? It's around here somewhere. I imagine it's not as long as it is in real life. In real life, it's fucking huge. It's like one of the longest bridges in the world. Where you at, Lake Pontchartrain Causeway? Salt Lake. I should have paid more attention to the map when I was on my PC. Where you at? Is that it right there? Is that the lake? No, that's not. That's fucking Detroit. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Sorry. Where is it? I can't believe they took the time to add that. That's so cool, man. So cool. It's near New Orleans. Where's New Orleans? I haven't actually discovered a lot of the map. I still got like gray chunks on it because I tend to teleport around to different races and shit, so. Where you at? Oh. Fucking hell. New Orleans, where you be? New Orleans. That's Dallas. Never even knew that was here. I need to pay more attention to the map. Jesus Christ. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't get away with it if they didn't add, frickin', the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway. So the thing is pretty important. Fuck's sake, where's New Orleans? I don't know much about the United States map or anything. I don't know much geography at all. Fucking hell, where is it? Jesus. See, all this stuff I never knew was even here is just here. And I've been through it too, and I didn't even notice. I'm gonna spend so much time on that Lake Pontchartrain Causeway when I find it. There it is, there's New Orleans. Oh, right there, there it is. Alright, cool. Let's go check this shit out. Is that actually it? Aw, there's no way that's it. Is that really it? I can't actually tell. Okay, can anybody tell me if that's actually not that one right there, but this one over here? Is this the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway? Cause I looked up a thing here and that's what it said this was. So I've been through here before and I didn't even notice. So let's go drive this. Said I was gonna drive over here, but I decided not to. I will take... which car? I think I will go for... I really want to just use the... I think we'll use the Devil Z here. Go. Alright, so I'm on the wrong side of the road for one. Let's go. Alright, so everybody, this is apparently the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway. I don't actually know if that's true, but it does kind of look like it almost, but... Oh my god, this is gonna be a short drive. The hell? Oh yeah, it's really low to the ground, so I think this might be it. Yeah. I just remember thinking that this bridge was so cool, just because it was so fucking huge. Wow, that was boring though in the game. Holy shit, it was so small. Thought it was gonna be some huge stretch. Okay. Alright, I have another demand for you, Ubisoft. Please make the freaking Lake Pontchartrain Causeway in the next game longer, if you decide to add the United States again. because that was short. That was boring. It's like a pretty important landmark right there, so maybe take the time to put it in the game fully. If that was actually the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, I'm not actually sure if it is or not. But that was a horrifically boring drive, so it's like barely 2 feet long. In real life, it takes like 20 minutes to drive across, I think. Then again, I was driving at like 200 kilometers an hour, so I don't know. Somebody go drive the freaking Lake Pontchartrain Causeway at like 200 miles or 200 kilometers an hour and find out how long it takes you to get to the other side. Wonder what this... Oh, there's like swamps here. I guess we are in New Orleans. Maybe a stereotype, I don't know. So much fun. Cool shit that I didn't even know was here. Alright, let's go to the next place. Let's see here. What do we got? Interesting places on the map. That was boring. That was not worth coming here for. You disappointed me, Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, if that's what you really are right here. You disappointed me. Alright. Is there any large bridges across other lakes around here? It's Detroit Bridge. That hardly counts, though. Let's go. I'm gonna go. This big ass meteor crater over here. I'm gonna set a waypoint for it. There's a friggin' track inside of here. It's a dirt race track, I think. I've been here before, but I'll go again. Chase invitation. I don't think I want to get away from the cops right now. Maybe later, if you like winning a car. The next car I'm gonna win from that is the Ferrari F40. I'm excited. Because that thing is like freaking 500 grand or something in the store. Maybe more. Not paying that much for a friggin' car. Just win it. That's the beauty of this game. Everybody complains about not being able to earn bucks fast enough, but you can just go... Just go earn it in the police chases and stuff. You can even earn cop cars, you know, just like really freaking expensive cars. You just get them for free. On a side note, well, you'll have to spend money on upgrades, but you know what I mean. On a side note, we're gonna switch over to a different car because I'm bored of this car now. Let's see here. What do we got? I wonder, can you switch on the spot like this? Probably in the new ones you can just kind of go through a list and pick whatever car you want to drive and switch over to it. Interesting that they call the MC12 that is the circuit spec a different name. What do I want to drive? Not that. That'll fucking ruin my day if I try to drive that. Let's see. None of that crap. You know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and drive the Kawasaki Ninja H2 street bike. Ah, and another thing. Now that we're on the topic of bikes, in the next game, please make them turn faster. I mean, it's pretty much impossible to win a race against cars if there's any amount of more than like slight suggestion of a turn in a race. Especially in circuit spec vehicles, it's kind of ridiculous how slow they turn and how much you have to slow down. Because cars can just like take the corners like twice as fast, so you just got no chance. So yeah, bikes, please turn better in the next games. Other than that, I really love that they did take the time to actually implement motorbikes and stuff. Because not a lot of racing games do that. They just kind of stick with cars and nothing else. I mean, it took them a DLC to do it, but they still took the time to add them in. And they added in dirt spec and raid spec bikes and everything, and it's good. It's fun. It changes things up a lot. I'm glad that they did it. There's lots of them too. There's not like a few bikes. There's actually a lot of them, which is also nice. And they keep adding them every update or so too. You know, you just get free cars every once in a while. Well, I mean, you don't get them for free, but they just add them into the game, you know, without having to pay for another DLC. And you can't fall off the bikes. That's actually kind of annoying. You should be able to wipe out. In the next game, do it. Make us wipe out. I don't care if I crash. Well, maybe not if I'm just driving around the map, but if I'm like doing a stunt course or whatever, and I fuck up a trick, you know, then I should be able to wipe out. And that's another thing as well. On the bikes, instead of the dudes just randomly doing tricks when you're in the air, please make a button so we can, or make combination buttons so we can do different tricks by pressing the buttons instead of having them be random. Same with your quads that you're going to add that I said you're going to add, right? Right, you're going to add quads, right? You better add quads. So we need those in the game to kind of, I don't know, just because they're cool. Why not? We'll have quads, you know, maybe some what are those things called? Side-by-sides, I think. You know, those two-door, like, ATV, huge-ass ATV things. That would be fun, too. You know, just go all out, and, you know, we already have, like, the system where with the off-road and everything, so you might as well expand on it. Game could be something awesome. Another thing I forgot to mention earlier that I liked about this game was the story. You know, normally in these kinds of racing games or whatever, you have like the same basic story. You start out like from nothing, and you basically fucking race your way to the top, and the generic boring racing missions where the opponents get harder and harder and harder till you earn like $8 million in the last race and become some kind of god, and that's the end of the story. Well, in this game, you do the same thing, but it's kind of like in a more creative way. You know, you're some dude who freaking was basically in charge of a gang, and then one of the gang members betrayed you and turned your fucking racing gang into like a freaking drug peddling super gang that like controls half the United States, and you get thrown in jail and framed for everything, and then some undercover FBI agent or whatever offers you, or some FBI agent, she just offers you like an undercover job to go hunt down this dude Shiv and the FBI agent that's working with him, and you make your way around the state, friggin' climbing your way through the ranks of the 510 till you get to the end where you fucking take the crown from the dude and get him arrested. And you know, it's not a good story, but it's not a bad story. It's better. It's miles ahead of any other racing game story, which is all just the same generic bullshit. So that's good on them for that. You know, if nothing else. Good job, my friends. Alright, I hope I'm in the mountain states and this is a buggy piece. I've been trying to get the buggy for like ever. I'm pretty sure that's not the buggy though. I'm pretty sure that's the hot rod. Yeah, hot rod HUP1, yeah. I'm never gonna find all these parts without looking up a guide, honestly. I don't even know why I'm trying to find them. Except that I want the vehicles, but... Or I should say that I don't know why I don't just look up a guide. I wonder if I'm approaching... Oh my god, that's a train! Oh, fuck! I didn't even know those were in the game until just now. Shit. Railroad crossings are no longer safe. I want to get decked by a train. That's my life's goal now. Just be driving across the road and get smacked by a train. I just want it to happen randomly though. I can't just do it on purpose. That wouldn't be as fun. It just has to happen while I'm driving across the train tracks or something. I just get fucking smoked by a train. Why? Because that would be totally entertaining. bike's fun. I love bikes. Well, I mean, I still like cars better, but this is fun too, so we'll roll with it. Oh my goodness. It's one of those vehicles I just kind of won. Every vehicle that I have, I just kind of won from, like, the chases or whatever. Chases are fun. I love chases. Be it running away or being the cop or whatever. Kind of being the cop is my favorite, but you only kind of get cop cars from that, so when I want normal cars too, so. I rarely ever buy cars, if at all. I bought the Mazda MX-5, that was the only exception that I made, just because I wanted it real bad. And, oh, and the GTR, I bought the GTR as well. Or no, actually, you know what, I got it for free when the, like, because I was a Wild Run owner before Wild Run got bundled with calling all units for everybody else, and they paid, like, less money for it altogether, so I got the GTR for free. That was my prize. Which, hey, that's a pretty cool prize if you ask me. I mean, it's still not worth it, but hey, GTR. Goodness, this bike is just terrible at turning, my god. My god, how slow do you have to be going to make this thing turn properly? It would infuriate me during a race. I'd lose every race just because there's too tight of corners for me to safely go. Oh my fucking god, there's that Fiat, I think that's a Fiat, yeah, totally Fiat. Love how I just survived a direct collision with the friggin' bike. Or a car, you know, on a bike. 'Cause that happens in real life. What's lane split? Hey guys, I'm gonna piss you off by lane splitting. How's it feel, bitches? Oh, lane splitting did not work out. I got fucked. The car got pissed at me, like, fuck your lane splitting. Ah, Jesus fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh my, oh, Jesus. Fuck, I hate the turning circle on this thing. Jesus Christ. And it gets worse when you're trying to brake and corner at the same time. It's just, it's bad. It's fun though. It's good. Usually racing games are cars or bikes. It's nice to have one that's just cars and bikes. It's nice to have the option if I feel like it. Ooh, speed trap. Holy fucking shit, I want that. Eee. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose the platinum because I fucking didn't pay attention to where I was actually driving. Oh my god. Come on, get that platinum. Oh yeah. We Gucci. This fucking bike. Yeah, this is fun. I like this. Yeah, I equipped the part. Holy shit, equipped the part. I also have the older Ninja, I have both of them on here. I don't know what KTM is, but I'm pretty sure, like, that's a, like, just from the name, I have a feeling it might be just, like, some kind of, basically Kawasaki in disguise, kind of like how Scion's, like, a company owned by Toyota or whatever. Holy shit. Okay. I've watched a video online where one of these things legit beat a Bugatti Veyron in a drag race. It was pretty awesome. These things are fucking fast in real life. It's ridiculous. I don't understand how you can fucking entrust your life to one of those things. You know, you're fucking ripping down the highway at like faster than a Bugatti. You probably won't do that, but still, like, you get my point. Like, this thing's fast, you know. Fucking one little fucking love tap from a rock and you're fucking literally in pieces on the ground. I'd still probably drive one if I got the chance, you know. Because, I mean, they're cool. I must admit that, but they're scary. And this bike's pretty cool too. I think I'm gonna roll with this one for a bit. This video just became about bikes, everybody. Stay or don't stay, I don't care. Jesus Christ, your turning circle is so bad. Just seriously, come on. Step up your game here, man. You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing all cars everywhere. Making them cringe. In a straight line, these things totally kick ass over cars, though. Like, I'm not just talking about in the game, I'm talking about in real life. If you ever seen how fast one of these things can move, it's kind of crazy. I'm talking about street bikes in general. They're just like, or I guess they're called crotch rocket. I've heard them be called that. It's just really insane how fast these things can go. I'm impressed. Like, I didn't know you could make a fucking tiny ass little machine go that quick. They just seriously need to turn better though. I mean, come on, like, this is bad. You need that handling and performance. If you can get those two together, you're freaking golden. Yeah, that platinum. Ooh, this thing's only like 758 now. I don't want to hit the continue button because it's gonna freaking do that black screen thing where it slows me down. Fucking bullshit. So much fun to drive this thing. Holy shit. Definitely need a better turning. Alright, well, I'm probably going to spend my time doing this now, so... And I've run out of things to say, so this is actually the end of the video now. Goodbye. And again, I'll see you guys Starside.